squares. So we welcome anyone who wants to come host in here. You can bring your service in as a DR site, place it in there. We've got all the regulations, all the ISOs we meet in there. So that's our thinking. So innovation up to grow. We're going to focus more on data centers as ICT. These talks of we want to build a new one downstairs. That's future vision if we get what we ask for. That's a lot of money. So innovation, I want to be the catalyst of innovation going forward. Saying that, why we're here today on the tender scope is we want to rekit our production environment. That's for the whole group. So in there, from a technical perspective, is we've got 2 physical servers now standing, Lenovo servers. We've got a SAN attached to it at the bottom. We're currently running 15 VM servers, all Microsoft based. So we've got a SQL cluster on one side and application servers on the other side. So the whole meaning for the tenders, we want to upgrade that kit. You'll see on the tender briefing it said Azure HCI stack, meaning the solution you give us, we're not going to go to the cloud now. It's when we want to go to the cloud, the solution you gave us must be a click of a button and we can go. So we as GA, we've got a cloud, we're at 365, we've got our tenant in there. So basically what we're saying is the solution that you provide us today, the capabilities must already be to just activate the HCI to go to Azure. So that's the main thing. So if you can just go through the document, on the one thing you will see, we did indicate that you must do an assessment of our environment. We gladly, if you want to send a mail, you will see there's references to tenders or to Khali. If you've got more information, we've got documents ready. I will explain to you exactly how many CPUs we have and how many RAM and how many hard drive space currently. I don't think that's necessary now, because if you go down into the document, the technical specs, that is what we foresee, what we want to move to. So if I can just go down again, I think one of the important things is, so like Khali said, is you need to buy, install, and configure everything. That is production and DR. So everything, if you leave here, it's a turnkey, say to us, there we go. The other thing is there's also support and maintenance. So what we're saying is we've got our internal IT team. So every entity's got IT personnel from help desk to managers to network specialists, server admins. When we say we want 24/7 support is on the software you give us. So if it's a VMware solution, Nutanix solution, a Microsoft solution, whatever solution you give us, if anything goes wrong in there, we need 24-hour support on that. So we need your call center number, we can log a call. I think we said business days is a day, business day. That's on tech support. If anything goes haywire with the software you provide us, we need to contact you, and anything with the hardware goes wrong, you need to replace it next business day. So I think that's the most important thing we said from support and maintenance. So it is for 5 years, so keep that in mind. Licensing, like I said, we are a Microsoft house. All the server licenses we have, so that you don't need to worry about. So you need to worry about the hardware and the operating system where we're going to put our VMs in. Currently we are running VMware. Keep that in mind. If you propose a new solution, it must be a seamless migration. So everything we have now on VMware must then migrate to your platform. Like I said, from any platform you then provide to us. I think that was, and obviously training, you need to teach our guys, me, Marty, all forward. If the bus is one of us, the other one who's take over. The technical specifications, like I said, if you look at it, so what we did with the technical specifications is, currently what we have now, we scaled it up. Keeping in mind 5 years from now, more group applications. We also want to test the waters, seeing where the innovation hub is growing to. We want to add some clients in. So if a client comes in and says, we want to host your DR, we want to add them as a sub-client underneath, or let's say you give us a portal, we say you create one stack for GGA group applications, that's us. If we want to add a client in, we put up the VMwares in, and bring him as a client. We want to test the waters. The bigger picture is we want to have a full hosting facility in here. So we've got 4 racks, put them up, putting servers in there, we host clients for them. The government, private clients, we want to host it for them. So the reason we put the specs together is we want to test the waters in that space. So firstly, we want to cover our production environment to a DR site, and then add a few clients in as we go on. So you'll see on point number 5, bill of material, like Khali said, there is a Excel document as well. This is just our minimum specification. So please look at it. We tried not to go brand specific. If we say Xeon servers, that's just a processing. So look at the processing and the virtual servers and the cores we want. We're not moving you to a Dell or a HP or a Nova or a Sun Micro. We're just saying, look at the specifications, and I see with the documents that you can send in, you can have an idea where we're moving to. So the solution we're also looking at is, it can be an old solution where you have got your 4 physical servers plus a SAN, or just one, it's not a blade server, we have all the servers with all the hard drives, what it needs. How you want to present it to us. The only thing that we have, one thing I forgot to say is our network currently at Innovation Hub. We've got a 10 gig backbone running through all our network and all our mock. So our backbone is 10 gig, and our data center, our firewalls are capable to 25 gig, the SFP ports. We've got 2 10 gig links coming in from our service provider for internet. So seeing that we've got 10 gig pipes coming in, your service as well from a network point of view, and as the service go, they must have that capability. So I think it is, we did include in our solution 2 25 gig SFP ports going up and down. That's just to get us to a new level. So when the users sit at Cape Town and looking for GGA, they're coming to Sage 300, it's very resource intensive. The line speeds plus the internal network must be fast. Currently now, we do see a bottleneck, and I think that's with the current environment. Currently, we've got 1 gig cards coming in, and with a 10 gig network, we're just bottlenecking everything future, so we're not using it to optimally. Then we are currently using Veeam backup replication, so I think that's why we put it in. So Veeam is just there, so the backups from on-site must go to DR. The DR server, you see, we didn't spec that high. So from a DR perspective, we want to move all our critical applications. So once we hit downtime, all our criticals will boot out that side. So on specification-wise, you will see on our spec, so production will be a complete full stack, and DR can be a little bit smaller. The only thing is if we go down, DR must be able to carry the load until we can get production up and running. Further to that, virtualization, like I said, the software that you provide us must have the HCI solution supported, VMware backup, that will be a 5-year subscription for backup and replication. When we come to a network side, we informed this retailer. So the solution we gave us, we've been running Juniper networks in the park. So whatever SFP is coming, so from us, our core switches are all 10 gig SFPs. So looking at your network, so we want to, preferably we're all running on VLAN, so all our clients in here has got their own specific virtual LAN. So TIH is a network, we've got our own network. So our solution is with our new rack that we put in, our environmental rack will come in. Your top of rack switch will be in there. From our core, you'll plug in. So from our core, we can put a 10 gig SFP in to your rack, and that will go down to the system. So the network side, we could also discuss that maybe later if you have got any questions there. The only thing we're saying is, once you leave here, is what you put in our rack is when I get to my computer and I remote to my server, I'm just going to be able to get it. So everything in that cabinet you must provide. From network switches to interconnecting cables, all the consumables for that system to be up and running and live must then be provided in the specifications. Further than that, we did speak on to support and software. Training, like I said, we want 4 OEM trainings. I think the one thing Khalid didn't mention was on our requirements is, you will see on the second stage on page 13 on the top, OEM accreditation. So we said bidder must provide proof of relevant OEM reseller accreditation letter, valid for 24-25. And bidder must be a minimum of a silver OEM partner. Then the other one is the bill of material, which Khalid provided. So that's the one thing from the technical aspect. Sorry, I can go on for hours. If I talk too much, just stop me. I think, Martin, you can take us through the technical evaluation. That will help us, and I think I will then just take questions and answers afterwards.
Oh, you mean the functionality?
Yeah.
Okay, good morning everyone. My name is Nathan Kuhn, so you understand enough introduction, so I don't need to go on and on. I'll just go straight to the functionality evaluation, which is point number 3. Maybe just to emphasize on number 2, on the OEM and the bill of material, that is the pre-qualification requirement. So if you don't provide that, your submission will not be valid. Okay. If we go straight to the functionality evaluation, the first one is bidder's methodology, outlining the understanding of the engagement. So they were expecting you to give us a detailed proposal covering all areas as per scope of work, as outlined in the bidding document. As you can see there, we've put a number of bullets or points that you need to present in your methodology. The first one is the solution design, moving from current IT to the new design. As Glenn explained earlier, we get 4 points there. Procurement and installation plan. So on your methodology, you need to guide us on how we're going to procure and the installation plan as well. It's 3 points. Outline integration and configuration is 3 points. Outline execution plan to clearly testing and validation 4 points. Support and maintenance plan 3 points. Training plan for 4 resources as outlined is 3 points. So we expect you to provide us all those points on your methodology. And the points for that criteria is 20 points. And then on number 2, detailed project management plan. So your project management plan must have clear timelines, including kick-off meeting, installation, migration, testing, and handover. The project plan must be presented clearly outlining the following milestones with the timelines. Okay, implementation plan, align to scope of work, including from the kickoff meeting, 5 points. Procurement and installation timelines, indication all equipment and software timelines, 5 points. Change management process, it's very important that we do have a change management policy as an organization, so we need to make sure that we comply as well to the change management policy. Testing and migration process is 5 points. Quality assurance and sign-off prerequisites is 5 points. Projects close-off handover is 5 points. And then the maximum points there is 8 for the project implementation plan. And then the third criteria is project team experience and accreditations. I think it's the resources there that you will be deploying to the project, that will be working with the internal IT team within the group. The bidder must also have the following resources. All qualifications must be stamped and certified by the Commissioner of Works and not more than 6 months old. The first one is the project manager with the CV and the valid project management certificate, Prince2 PMP certified Scrum Master or the equivalent certification. If the person has 1 to 3 years experience, is 0 points. 3 to 5 years is 3 points. More than 5 years is 5 points. Okay. The next one is the systems engineer with the CV and the valid Microsoft certified solution expert or equivalent certification. 1 to 3 years, 0 points. 3 to 5 years, 3 points. 5 years and more experience is 5 points. And then now we will need a HCI specialist with a CV and a valid Microsoft Azure fundamental certificate or equivalent. Same as well. 1 to 3 years, 0 points. 3 to 5 years, 3 points. More than 5 years, it's 5 points. And then we will also need you to give us a network engineer. With the CCNA, Microsoft Certified Azure Network Engineer Associate or equivalent. The points as well, 1 to 3 years, 0 points, 3 to 5 years, 3 points, more than 5 years is 5 points. Then the Vim engineer, okay, with the Vim certification or equivalent, 1 to 3 years, 0 points, 3 to 5 years, 3 points, more than 5 years, 5 points. And then lastly, we will need you to give us a software specialist with a CV and a valid certification, VMware professional certificate. The points as well is the same, 1 to 3 years experience, 0 points, 3 to 5 years, 3 points, more than 5 years is 5 points. We try to make it very easier for you to do the submission. Sorry, I've dropped that call.
No.
come to the next point, which is number 4, your contactable references. So we need you to give us reference letters. So the bidder must demonstrate evidence of experience in installation and supply or rendering services of similar nature. The reference letters must be dated on a client letterhead signed by authorized personnel of the entity. Each reference letter must have been awarded for a minimum value of 1.5 million per valid letters, and letters must not be older than 5 years. 5 points per valid letter to a maximum of 20 points. So we need you to give us those reference letters. The maximum points you can get today is 20. So basically 4 valid reference letters that will be counted. You can submit 10, 15, but we will only count up to the 20 points. And then the minimum points required for you to go through the price stage is 70 points. And then if you don't meet 70 points, then you don't qualify to go to the next stage. I think we've come into an end into the presentation of the technicality and scope of work. I think the next stage is the interesting one of questions or
Yeah, I think before we take questions, I just want to, I'm trying to go down the one who's going to send emails to this guys. I'm trying to see how pick up your emails. I normally check this quickly. Info veg. Yeah, the first name on the, I'm not sure it's Manamela T. Oh, okay. Manamela K. And then the infocentric. Is it infocentric CIP?
Yes.
So
Afrocentric IP.
Infocentric IP.
Afrocentric.
Afrocentric
Yeah.
IP.com.
Yes.
Okay. Don't worry, I'll remember for the elephant memory. And then the HPE, I can't even read the email, sorry. The HPE
Nduli at hp.com.
is Mutuli,
Yeah, Nduli.
is a T,
It's an NT.
NT.
Yeah.
Okay, and HPE.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And then the brilliant way,
Brilliway.
Brilliway.
Theatre.makuka@brilliway.com.
Or is Brilliway with W-A-R-E.
Brilli, W-A-R-E.
R-E, okay. And then Kelani is it Vincent?
Yes. Vincent.
There is Vincent.
Yes.
Yeah, it was on mine is like V-M-C-E-H.
No, it's Vincent.
It's Vincent at Kelani.
That's your.
Because it's got an S on my V. So thank you for that. I just wanted to plant on those emails so that I'm sure when and when I do the typing of the email, then I'll remember. Thanks. We're gonna go into the Q&A session in terms of you can start from any question from the administration. How you gonna submit on the technical, the guys will respond to you. You can shoot. Yes, sir.
So if I hear you correctly, you've got one resource with network and Veeam experience. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, correct. You must please state it. So, like Kali said, when you guys do indexing, I think Kali did a very nice thing on the scoring. So, if you've got a network engineer and it's one person, say in your index, this is a network engineer, for instance, Kali, and then this is your Veeam engineer, Kali. So we can navigate. So it all just comes down to when the BAC do score. So it's very difficult to go search for the file. So if you got, especially in that case, if you've got 2 people that's the same role, highlight it because they're not going to do the scoring correctly.
And then put the certification solution as well. Don't just say yes, sir.
Sorry, I just want to check on the training. Is it hands-on training on site or is it OEM certified training?
Nothing we see.
Um, Yeah, but it will need to be hands-on as well because you will need to come and install the equipment here.
Yeah.
And also, if they need to give us an OEM training, maybe online, they can also do that. So it will be a combination of the two.
Yeah, so I think to recap what Mati says, so obviously when you do the site, the key turnover, the full documentation from production, where every cables are going in, what the VM is, and afterwards, let's say for instance, it's something, because we are certified with VMware. It's not VMware anymore, and it's completely something different. I think OEM training on that, not certified now.
No.
Just training on that.
That's training.
Yeah,
It's
but
a essential.
okay, I'm getting the hands-on, but the certified training by the OEM is obviously a lot more expensive. That's what I want to make sure.
Yeah, like I said, I just,
So it's both. You want
no,
both?
no, I'm not saying
not
certified,
certified.
just like an introduction.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't want to be a Microsoft specialist.
No, sure. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I mean, the training by hands-on by the staff, let's say if we win it, that's minimal cost. But training from an HP or a Dell or
Yeah,
IBM,
correct.
that's a vast different price.
I think just to answer that, so the reason we set training on that is, so we don't want to bother you with 20 emails a day. So if anything goes wrong, I mean, I think we are more than competent, our staff is very clued up what's going on. If you give us that basic training to say, listen, this is how you put a new client into your VMware environment. This is how you do backup replication. That daily training that we have is more than enough for us, and Google is also your friend. I don't want to bother you with say, listen, you need to take my hand and take me through this 5 years to run this system. That's what we don't want. So we want to be certified, to be clear, so we don't want to be a Dell certified technician.
Okay.
We just want to maintain our own system.
Hands-on. Okay. Thanks.
That's a good question, thank you.
On the technical specification, it says you must supply a Azure Stack SCI, but on the scope of work, it says the solution must support multiple hypervisors, but the Microsoft one doesn't support multiple hypervisors.
Where did you see that? Sorry, if you can just go on the scope of work.
Yeah, on the scope of work, there is virtualization software. It says it must support multiple hypervisors.
I think we used the wrong name abbreviation. Not you can guys correct me, it must support multiple platforms. So
Yeah, multiple platforms.
the reason we said that is like we said with clients. So when we come in, let's say you are client A, you tell me, yeah, I've got a Microsoft hypervisor, I've got a VM. We must be able to ingest that into our platform. If we've got VMware, we can ingest that. If it's a Linux platform, we can ingest that. So I think we just used the wrong wording on that. So the solution that you need to give us must be able to be scalable. So any client that we get from outside must be able to we can migrate them from their platform to our platform. I think that's, yeah. Does that answer your question? Anything else? Khalid?
Okay, yes, sir.
It said here for OEM accreditation, we just submit which OEM. Is it just one? Is it a Microsoft accreditation? Is it Veeam accreditation? Or we just apply every OEM that we put forward? It's not specific here.
Okay, I'm gonna read it as it is on the tender document and the two will
Because it even
come
says,
in. It says OEM accreditation. BIDA must provide proof of relevant OEM reseller accreditation letter valid for the 24-25, and a BIDA must be a minimum of silver OEM partner. So it talks about reseller. So I'm assuming this is a product of something.
It's a hard.
Yeah, it's a hardware, whatever. So if somebody says I'm reselling something, then I'm accredited to resell that particular. So whatever you're gonna submit for that commodity to be bidden, that's the reseller letter you want. So you can't give us a reseller for a coffee when we want to ace whatever stakes, as an example.
Yeah, I think so. What Khalid said is, when you give us a proposal for what we have currently in our data center, if you bring us hardware that's Lenovo, we need to be OEM reseller of Lenovo. If the software on there is VMware, not a risk. It's not a,
Yeah.
no, so I think it's literally just hardware.
That's hardware.
It's hardware, sorry, yeah. So just to clarify, OEM reseller on the hardware that you provide. They're not on software.
But there's virtualization software. I think you said Veeam, if I'm not mistaken. That's not the software element of things.
I know Veeam is a backup software.
Backup software.
Yeah.
So you don't need any accreditation for Veeam.
No, but your technical guys must be VM certified. So remember, they need to set up the backups from TIH to OR to OR Timer. So your technical guys must be VM. We're just saying we're using VM backup application as our backup solution. But the technical guy that you bring on site to put up that internet, he must be certified.
Okay. So just to be clear, the accreditation only refers to the hardware.
Correct, yeah.
And that hardware is Azure.
No, it must be Azure ready. So, yeah. Remember, your hardware is not Azure, yeah.
No, is it?
So if you give us a Sun Micro server environment, it must be Sun Micro certified. I mean, if it's a Dell environment, Lenovo, HP, it must just be a reseller of it. So meaning I can't go to, Marty can't go to this and say, this is going to give me 5 servers, but he's not a reseller of HP, for instance. So yeah, sorry, that's, I think we were unclear, and that's only on hardware.
So the solution, must the solution be the Azure Stack HCI, or you can use any HCI solution that you have?
So what I explained is we need to be Azure ready. So any ACI stack is fine. The thing is, if we need to go to the cloud tomorrow, I can click on migration button and we prep our tenant and we go to the cloud.
No, then it must be Azure Stack. It's an Azure Stack.
It's
So your
Azure.
hardware that you are giving us
Microsoft
must
Azure.
be Azure Stack already. So it needs to bring Azure Stack on it.
Yeah, that's where my question was coming from, because if you are saying the software must be Azure Stack HCI, it means I must only use Azure Stack HCI with any hardware that I can use. And there are those OEMs that support Azure Stack HCI, and if my OEM doesn't support that, it means I can't be with that OEM.
But what is stopping you to going to the OEM that is supporting Azure? Because you are a reseller, you can resell anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just needing some clarity.
We are not inviting OEMs directly, we're inviting you as a reseller. You resell anything. Yeah.
Well, I'll take that. Is it a follow-up on the, or is something else?
It's different.
Oh, okay, then let's give it a.
You mentioned earlier that you you've got your Microsoft licensing already in place. If you're looking at Microsoft Azure, would you be supplying if you look at a Microsoft Azure ACI stack,
Yeah.
would you be providing the Microsoft licensing, or would
No, we will be providing that. So that will be done on our side, yeah.
to follow up on that, if you go a different HCI, they would provide the different licensing?
Correct. Yeah, luckily we're signing Microsoft now again for another 3 years, so we'll make sure that is in place.
And then I'll close it to you now. Just want to check if there's anyone else? You can take your second person.
Regarding the evaluation, the reference letters, you said each at minimum must be 1.5 low, for example, and then will count for a minimum of 5 points. So if we have 2 reference letters, one is for 3 million, the other one is for another 3, will the 2 references give us the full maximum points that we need?
No, what the requirement is saying, it says the minimum letter that you submit, the minimum value must be 1.5. So is the letter counted once, not the value of the letter counted twice.
But then why did you put the value there? What's the point? Because
We want somebody who has done the work of a minimum of 1.5. Otherwise, if you have done a value of work of a 500, you can't do this work.
no, but my question was, I've got 2 clients that have done 3 million each. Will I not get the full?
No, you just get accounted for the 2 letters that you present.
So then why did you put the 1.5 as a minimum? It doesn't serve any purpose then.
No, I want to explain. The minimum of 5 million is that we want somebody who have done a work from a minimum of 1.5.
But I've done 3.
Yeah, we have done 3 in terms of contractually. When you have done them, 3 of them was 10 million each. it's going to, the point is that the minimum entry level for a letter has to be 1.5.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you get 3 letters of 1.5 and above, you get 15 points out of 20. That makes sense.
No, I hear that. But now you put a monetary value and also put in an account and say minimum is 5, for example, right? If you add the one up, it's about 6 million, for instance, right?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Irrespective of the value of your contractual work that we have done, the minimum in terms of the letter to be counted, what we wanted references. But we don't want references of where we know this person is not capable of entering this job because of its value. Currently, we don't know what the maximum value of this contract is. So we knew, based in terms of our budget, that in terms of the minimum value, anybody who has done work that is less than 1.5 million as a reference, you won't be able to deliver on this work. You won't have the capability, you won't have the financial muscle to be able to carry this job. So as to give a guidance to say, if we have done a work from a client of more than 1.5, then we can approach that client and ask for the reference letters. But the reference letters is what's going to be determined in terms of scoring, in terms of your different clients. Yeah.
But again, I feel hard done by this. I've got a client that I'm running for, let's say, 8 years. That's a 10 million contract.
Yes, that's just one letter.
That can't speak to my, if I can do the job or not. I mean, clearly I can. It's going to be an 8-year deal. As opposed to say, if I've got 4 clients of 1.5 million each, that's a 1-year contract and we're done. I've got an 8-year project. I'm saying that now my reference letter is now 4 short of somebody's going to have 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. I've got 8 million and 2 million.
No, but you're interpreting as if anybody is going to have a 1.5 on each contract that it carries. That's what your interpretation is. But the interpretation is that we want a reference letter from a client that can demonstrate to say that we are capable to do the work. And we decided that everybody who's capable of contracted on Azure State, which is less than 1.5 million, we won't cope in our project. Because it's way more than what you mentioned, it's way bigger than this project. So, and that's why we had to set that minimum. I know maybe it might not be making sense to you, but it's not necessary to say, we were not looking to say we want somebody who have done a contract of 10 million. Because also, that wouldn't make sense. So we were setting the minimum in terms of anybody who's below that won't be able to do capability of this work, irrespective of living a reference data. And that's why we have that entry level. It's like you say to a person who can apply for a job but you have to have a matric. It doesn't mean somebody with a degree can apply for a job. And it doesn't mean because the degree person has applied the job is better than the matric person. So that's the simplest example that I can give for you. So that's what exactly we were trying to say. So I noted you. Yes?
So maybe my follow-up question to this question, will you other ones like a bank letter or like some sort of financials? Because I don't think the true ability in terms of being able to do the job versus your financial muscle. That's what I'm trying to also understand.
No,
If I can. So maybe when we set TIH with this tender thing, I think if you go through our functionality evaluation, right? So we went in. So for us, this is production. We can't go down for 1 second. Going down meaning the whole group. I'm talking about more than 700 colleagues is down at work. We can send them home. So the reason we said this is that's where we went. And the ACM helped us a lot with the scoring points, make it easier for scoring. And coming to where we are now, so when we said, now government regulation says it's R1 million below, it's RFQ. So for instance, if you bought 55 laptops, you can show me you can buy a laptop. But have you done a full production implementation plus a DR site with integration with each other plus full testing? So I think where we're coming to is we just want to see is to say you have client A is big in Africa, client B is SAPI, client 3 is the innovation. Tender was 10 million, one was 1.3 million, one was 1.4. But for everyone, we did a production at the with HSI stack, plus the training and the software. That's why we went. So you'll see where we said project implementation. We're talking, you must understand, there is change controls, there must be approvals, there must be shutdown dates, testing dates. So the company gets a point will literally, you've got our production in your hands, you've got literally our jobs in your hands. If we go down, the CEO is not going to say, oh, Vian, your service provider made approval. So I think coming back to the 1.5 million, we want to make sure through all the evaluation criteria that when you get in here, you bring all your service in, you can do the job going forward. So I know with the 1.5, but like Claudia said, if you've got the 10 million rand contract, it's one letter. So that's, yeah, I think that just gives a bit of background.
Yeah, and also just to respond to you, I added in terms of the reason, in terms of the cash flow, but we didn't want to manage the cash flow because we pay in 2 days. So we can be able to make sure that irrespective of the value contract, you are cash floated. So it's not about it that we wanted to, but we wanted the people that have come in terms of the investment into the previous client. And that's why we set the minimum. And that's why I made an example to say you can apply for the minimum of the job. It's either a degree, but it doesn't mean the master's person can apply. Or it doesn't mean it's going to be counted twice or like you can do production of 10 people's job. It's not the case.
Okay, but actually speaking on that, if you give him 5 points for the million, what's this metric based on? Because then you are saying, if I'm bringing a client that's got 1.3 million, that's a 0 point. Which is, you gotta outdo us then.
No.
But you've only got 1.3. So that letter, according to your metric, is 0.
Yeah, you can do the job. Maybe because of our assessment in terms of the value that we put into the project, you can't do the job. You can feel like you can do it, but that's the metrics we have used to do the assessment.
Yeah, but if you are given, for example, 5 points on minimum, you say, okay, we've got a project, we've done HCI, we've got accreditation, we've got this and that, to equate for this 5 points. It seems here that you just put it in 5 points and just say, million, you need this. It just equates to 5 points. There's no metric behind it.
No, it is. It's like now you tell me how I'm going to score it, but I have a metric and it's very scientific, believe me. That's why I invest time to make sure that the leader that passes this can do the job. It's very scientific. I'm an accountant, so when it comes to figures, I'm very particular. So I did that 5 points in terms of for a reason across all those evaluation criteria.
Can we please have that criteria?
No.
Let's say we have 10 clients, but they equal 1.5.
No, we're not doing a multiplier. Yeah, we're not doing a multiplier. No, we're not doing the multiplier.
Same scenarios. If you've got like one client, but you've done multiple deployments on the 1.5, it's the same client, with the different operation centers.
I
One
would
in
like,
Botswana, one in
I would like to give one reference that comes to say, like for example, in the group of entities, we have a group of entities. Let's say you want to make an example to say, I'll just not saying the lingo as it is. At GGDA you have done, I don't know, stack or whatever. At TH you've done the, what do they call the configuration and whatever. Go to GGDA as a group and ask to say, I need a reference letter for all your entities that have done this particular work. So it will come up with a value over 1.5 million and it will cover all the deliverables that are required in the tender. The tender submission, guys, is just about a clever way of doing it and getting,
I want to say, you fetch one letter for one customer. Can it be one letter for all the different operation centers, all the different...
Yeah, then if you have one letter that covers you in terms of the total value, then that letter will be counted. Unlike if maybe you have done GGA 500 because that was just this installation. At AFBC you have done R1 million and
But listen, all of them are over 1.5. Every
Oh, you want to say, can you ask them if they do it? Remember that the reason I'm asking that you can come to combine if you want to meet your 1.5. But if each entity of the GGDA, you you have done a project on each of them that is 1.5. Let's say project on each, or you can submit
What I'm
all the
saying is
5
like a
letters.
multinational, they've got
Yeah.
a presence in Botswana. they've got
You
one
can
in
submit
Swaziland.
all the 5 letters from
But it's still the
different
same
projects.
company.
Yeah.
That counts as 5 different reference letters.
For different projects, yes.
For the same client.
Yeah, for the same client. Anyone with the letters? Seems like is one of the interesting scientific topics. We can summarize AI it like right now. We've got 80 people. Any further questions or clarity?
I think for the last one, just for my own sanity's sake, regarding the references again, if you are marking against 2 different suppliers, both got 4 letters, both got 1.5 each, how are you going to set us apart? How do you determine that I'm more capable than the next? Hence, I want you to bring that to the
Leave
evaluation.
it for the experts that do the evaluation.
Yeah, but we need to be prepped for that, so we can also try and score as high as we can for the
No, but your letter must just speak to what they require. It's a letter within the scope of work. It's your letter within, that's all you need.
but you got it too. How are you gonna tell us apart?
No, don't worry, we will tell you apart. When you tell me, we will differentiate. Because now you're asking me how am I going to evaluate you.
That's the only way.
Yeah, but
You
the
can all
reference
have the
letters,
same reference letters, but your technical proposal is what's the
So remember that the letters are also not the only criteria in here, guys. So letter is just 120 point, 1 teeny tiny 20 points. A whole lot of 80 points to do with. You got 80 to do with it, just concentrating on this. Then you just get your 5 letters there, then it's over and done. And then you talk to the scope configuration install, whatever the steps are, or SCR is, and you are good to go. There is one something I want you to highlight, which is type on the OEM. Remember the 2 disqualifying criteria. That is the bill of material. The bill of material that you need to adhere and answer to are on page 10 and 11. Please remember them. Because you've been hung up on the OEM accreditation letter. Just make sure that also in terms of the bill of material, you respond to that in detail. You have a no in one of these
Maybe.
criteria
Yeah, it's possible.
that change time.
It's a big one.
So, and that is the first thing we, before we even get to the letters. So I just want to go back to this so that you guys don't get distracted by the reference letters. So your bill of material, please watch out for it, because you get a 1 no in that bill of material. That's change time. You don't even have to worry about the reference letters. So just make sure what is important. When you're doing evaluation, when I do advise to bidders out there that are not my client, pay attention to what is important in the big document. So that's the area, because I just wanted to highlight that you guys don't get distracted by the reference letters. Reference letters are the simplest criteria in this whole document.
So for us to say we don't have a no, it must be fixed the transition.
Yes. So that is one criteria that when I set you apart in terms of how now you respond to your bill of material. It's one of the areas in terms of how you support it, how you do your yes and no's, and how you support your yes. So that's what is important before you even get to the letters. So, and making sure that also your experience of your team, please make sure you adhere to the minimum requirements in terms of certification that is due. And you like it because Vial was already agreed that you can actually choose resources twice in terms of if they have the accreditation. If I've answered before him, I would have said no. So whoever asked that question to Vial, you must count yourself very, 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 very lucky. So, which is a blasting. It's normally most of project managers, especially in IT or engineering, don't hardly accept the minimum in terms of double resourcing, because we feel it's going to delay their project in terms of now doing this and that. But I understand IT project manager that gives them away. So you guys must actually count yourself because you just submit one CV and then the two certificates or the three certificates. Yep, that's the giveaway. Already you got, the 30 points. So worry less about references. Yes, sir.
So the more technical side.
Yeah,
For
please,
me,
please.
You did mention that earlier. You did mention that in the specifications you put a minimum spec on the bill of material. Will you still be sharing your current environment, sharing that information?
So what we will share is we're not going to go, I'm not going to tell you what's my app servers and what. So we will tell you exactly what's our processing power, what RAM do we have in, what hard drive capacity we have in, the platforms we run it from. So you'll see, as soon as you see that document, you see what we propose. We literally upscale. So remember, our servers were procured in 2016. So our warranty, so it's 2016 Gens. So literally we want to go, so I want to be, whatever you propose the next 5 years, even if the or not is not here, whoever comes into our place, the next 5 years, that Dutch and DR servers must be able to run until 2020, whatever, 5 years, 2030, wow.
With that, would you be able to say how many virtual machines are you currently running?
Yeah,
What's the
we
average?
won't specify the names and the IPs. I promise you we had weird requests, so we'll say how many servers and we'll also break it down what capacity. So if you've got 10 virtual cores per server, so many gig RAM and so many hard drives, we'll also break up the hard drives as well. What is on each vehicle.
We're gonna share that before we submit. Okay.
I will have the document and then we can just.
I will send the same
Yeah.
Fine. Yes, ma'am.
Tell me, are we allowed to come and do a free assessment of the environment?
What do you want to see?
What's already
Because literally I'm going to open a data center. You can see on the data center, I won't mind that. You can bring your clients and host here. But we're going to literally show you our rack. It's going to be a Lenovo server, and a SAN. That's it. That's our production environment. DR is already at GIDZ. It's the same. 2 Lenovo servers, and we're using QNAP now to do the backups and running the VM show. That's it what you're going to see.
Okay, but so we allowed, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Just not allowed to take pictures.
Okay.
Because we've got other clients also in our data center.
Just to go back to these questions, so would you recommend that we stick to the minimum spec purely for pricing purposes? Because if you say that this is our minimum spec, and I maybe bump you up a little bit more, I'll come up a little bit more expensive, or you want to look at what I quoted for when you're doing the evaluation for pricing.
Listen, you'll see the document we will share is what we currently have. The minimum spec is already a bump up. So the bump up is already for 5 years. So if you want to give us more, by all means. So yeah, so we're not going to say, so minimum, that's what we did. We said minimum, that's what we want. But I can't say that's what I want. I mean, we already spec'd it out to, that will take us the next 5 years. So I mean, if you give us more and price us more, I mean, I think that will be done. So we said minimum must give us that. So if I say I want an HP with i7, 10 gig RAM, that's what I want. So we just said minimum because I can't tell you that's what I want. That's exactly what we need there. So that's your discretion. So I think our current production and what you see on that spec is already there. That's what we have and that's where we want to be.
But if you get a 10 at the price of 7, why
We
not?
don't mind, yeah.
Bring it on. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
We're not telling you, we're telling you price what we want, but if you can give us a 10 instead of whatever,
Yeah.
7 what? Yeah, that's 7. I just had the 7 something, but if you got a 10 of each, I will see that you, yeah, you see, that's the slowest laptop I had. Because 6 something, but I was as if that wouldn't have given me the same 10 something Lenovo at the price of the 6. Then we'll accept it. It's not that we're gonna chase you away. But yes, if you expect you post at something more than the minimum, of course it's gonna cost you more. And then it will disadvantage your comparability of price cost of.
Yeah, it's a good question. So I think obviously keep in mind when you do your timeline proposal, wherever you ship your hardware from, there is a lead time on it. So take that lead time consideration and come back and sit with your project plan. So your lead time for a Dell to come into South Africa will be 3 weeks, right? Then when it arrives, you'll meet the team before. But when you meet the team, take into consideration, we've got financial year end, we've got monthly year ends. So that timeline will always prepare. So we need to get that sweet spot where we can do it. But implements also, we need to test, then implement. So take all of that. So from the order of your shipment till where we deploy, saying we shut down production, bring up production. Everything there in between, but keep in mind, we're working with financial systems and we're working with risk systems. So take that into consideration. So we can't go down. So if there's a testing phase, give it a week. Right. If you know your system can work one day, rather give it 3 days more. Because I promise you, as soon as we start here, there's always a hiccup somewhere. So rather give us a timeline, say implementation is 2 months, 1 month for shipment to come in, another month is for deployment. Yeah, we're not gonna